alien hybrid children have transcendental wisdom integration Earth. At this point I'm sure you've at least heard of the indigo children, and probably the crystal and rainbow children as well. You may have read about these children coming in with new spiritual technologies to support humanity and Mother Earth and transcending density to ascend into higher levels of light and love. You've probably taken a few quizzes, or at the very least read through a list of qualities, patterns of behavior, and characteristics of these children, and adults, of the new energy to determine if you or your children fit the mold. You may already know that indigo children are often strong-willed, highly sensitive and intuitive with an innate truth detector and with little patience for bureaucracy or respect for authority which is undeserved. You may have learned that crystal kids are typically quite empathic, telepathic, quiet yet profound spiritual teachers with a deep connection to nature and the spiritual realms. Or that rainbow children come in with no karma, are peaceful, spiritually gifted from a young age and are excited to talk, and share what they know about spirit with love and joy. The truth is, that these labels are not entirely incorrect. As humans, it's natural for us to want to categorize, label, and classify things in the physical to make sense of them. This is exactly what has happened with the groups of children being born in the new energy. They're classified according to common patterns of behavior in order to make sense of the differences between many kids of the new generation when compared to kids in the past. The new kids, who are otherwise known as star kids, rainbow, crystal, or indigos, are souls who due to the continually rising vibration of the earth and humanity are able to come into the physical realm maintaining a higher vibration. The crystal, rainbow and indigo children, and adults, are able to embody more of the authentic truth of their authentic spiritual, divine, and multidimensional self, and are here on the planet with a strong purpose. The innate higher vibrational frequency of the indigos, crystals, and rainbows supports them in accomplishing their divine blueprint and life purpose as spiritual beings in physical form. In addition to learning and growing as individual souls, the children of the new energy are here on Earth to help spread love and light, elevate the vibration of the planet, move away from the old energy, and help to progress the ongoing ascension process of humanity and the planet to an entirely new level. While it's natural to want to label the new kids, it's somewhat opposed to the mission the crystal, rainbow, and indigo children came here with.
Generally speaking, they are here to help humanity to move out of the realm of duality and separation, and into an increased realization of our underlying oneness, and ability for positive co-creation on a huge scale. Labels do however serve a purpose, and can be beneficial for parents who want to better understand the needs of their psychic, empathic or sensitive children. These labels can also help the souls who are indigo, crystal, or rainbow and are struggling to fit in, or wondering why they feel different or like outsiders. I personally felt relieved when I read the characteristics of the crystal children. I was able to align with an increased sense of self-acceptance and confidence when I came to understand my association with this super-sensitive group. That being said, the great thing about the new energy, is that once someone connects with a new level of love and light, this increased level of light and love instantly becomes available for all of humanity. So even if you don't feel you are or your child is a crystal, rainbow, or indigo, because these children of the new energy are here on the planet, all of the divine frequency, psychic gifts, and potential for increased vibration present in these children, are available to you. You connect with these energies through your commitment to a meditation practice, being present in love at all times, and your furthered spiritual growth and ascension. As more and more of humanity continues to awaken to higher levels of consciousness and increased levels of love, the pathway is paved for the crystal and rainbow children to come into this reality with even more of their divine codes of enlightenment, higher consciousness and love frequencies intact. Ultimately, the new kids are here to help humanity and the earth move out of the old paradigm of control, fear and density, and to realign with love, compassion and higher consciousness. Their main goal is to help usher in the new paradigm on planet Earth in the coming years. My take is that we use the labels of indigo, crystal and rainbow children to the extent that they're helpful, but also to remember that labels are often restrictive. And the very purpose of many of these kids is to help us think outside of the box. Labels can offer general insight, but really they are very limiting when it comes to the full extent of the possibility for what are very high vibrational spiritual beings in physical form.
The new kids are here to help on a huge scale, and they really do have the frequency, qualities, and gifts needed to make a difference. But perhaps even more exciting is that the very divine essence and higher vibrational frequencies present in the crystal, rainbow, and indigo kids is now available to all. The simple presence of the new kids empowers all who are willing to let go of the old energy, open their hearts to love and light, and step into the infinite possibilities available in the new energy. When we join together to co-create from a place of love and oneness, while tuned into the increased love and frequency being anchored and embodied by the new kids, we really can step into entirely new possibilities for the planet and humanity. A world where all are centered in love, light, and compassion is revealing itself one step at a time, and these new kids are ushering in the new energies for all to embrace. Behavior and signs of an indigo child. Indigo children is a word we are familiar with, belonging to a very special group of beings who have chosen to be here on planet Earth with a mission and purpose. The name indigo child describes the soul shade of indigo, which suggests a master soul who serves as a teacher or healer. Most of the indigo children are undertaking this mission to either teach or heal. They are just being themselves, doing what they love. Indigos were coming to our planet for many of years. Some claim that Buddha and many others were indigos, since their mission, on a global scale, was to educate and heal, also to change the consciousness of mankind. When did the indigo children arrive? In the recent past, after the Second World War, indigos started to incarnate on Earth in growing numbers, in preparation for the global shift that we're experiencing now. Most of these special children incarnated during the baby boom generation of the 50s and were born to flower children of the 60s. Yet, at that point there hasn't been a satisfactory amount of them on Earth to make major changes. Then in 1970s the first generation of indigo children started arriving. These beings are actually now in their late 20s and early 30s, and are the real warrior generation that have started the process of challenging and shifting old systems. How do indigo children behave? 1. They are born and know they are special and should be admired. 2. An indigo understands they belong here as they expect one to understand it too. 3. These children are very confident and have high self-worth. 4. They have absolute authority, the kind with no choices. Good example of this would be the education system. 5. The rules we follow as children seem very silly for an indigo child and they oppose it. 6. Rigid ritualistic procedures are primitive to an indigo child. They believe everything needs to be given creative consideration. 7. They are insightful and frequently have a better idea of method than what continues to be in place for years. This makes them seem like system busters. 8. Many adults view indigos as antisocial unless they are within their group. Quite often they feel lost and misunderstood, which induces them to go within. 9. The old control system like, wait till your father gets home, has no effect on these children. 10. The fulfillment of their individual needs is essential to them, and they'll tell you. What are the signs of an indigo child? Listed are the signs of an indigo child. 1. They are strong-willed. 2. They are born in 1970s or later. 3. They are headstrong. 4. Creative, with the artistic talent for music, jewelry making, poetry, etc. 5. They are prone to addictions. 6. They are old souls. 7. Intuitive or psychic, perhaps having a history of seeing spirits or people that are deceased. 8. An isolationist, either through aggressive acting out or through introversion that is delicate. There's a lot of discussions surrounding the ideas of what a star child is. Are you one of them? If you're reading this or have an interest in the world's collective evolution, then you probably are.
These titles or categories of star people hold a different meaning to each person. To me, this essentially means your purpose in life is to help break down the existing paradigms to really start the shift into our next stages of evolution. Everyone has bits and pieces of the traits that come with being a star person. It's how you act out your intentions that would make you resonate more with a specific category. Indigo children. The indigos are the creators of the path for the new world. They are generally born with a warrior spirit with a collective purpose to try to stop the old systems that no longer serve us. This can be seen as a bit bratty, as a child can come into the world with a "I deserve to be here" mentality. They are here to recreate the fundamental ideas of government, education and our legal systems that lack integrity. To accomplish this, they generally have determination, fiery determination, and sometimes a bit of a temper. Indigos know when they're being lied to, patronized, or manipulated. And since their purpose is to usher us into a new world of integrity, the indigos' inner lie detectors are crucial. A lot of indigos end up being diagnosed with ADHD as they are quite sensitive and literally exist at a higher, more fast-paced level. Crystal children. Crystal children are the contrast to the indigos. After the new ways of life have been established, the crystals come into act in harmony with the world. They are more blissful and even-tempered than the indigos. They set the example for the masses to see how we can act in cooperation with one another. The crystal children follow the cleared path, into a safer and more secure world. A lot of them hold innate spiritual gifts can be easily misunderstood. The more advanced the children are, the more they struggle on this dimension. A lot of people diagnosed with severe autism are crystal children. They are operating at a much higher frequency that doesn't require verbal communication, so we assume they are just autistic or misunderstood. Many of the crystal children have delayed speech patterns, and it's not uncommon for them to wait until they're 3 or 4 years old to begin speaking. What is really happening is much deeper. They are incredibly intuitive and communicate on a level that can only be reached when we're in alignment with ourselves. Rainbow children. Finally, we have rainbow children. They are the highest example of our true potential. They are the embodiment of true divinity. They are about service to others, as giving is their chosen path. In that way, they are at the height of their spiritual peak because of their duties to help. They are fearless and have no trouble expressing their emotions. They are able to generally recover from the state of negative emotions quickly. Out of all the types, the rainbow children are supposedly quite rare. There's not as much information on them because they are still being born and will show their abilities when the world needs it most.
The purpose of the rainbow children is to complete the final stages of the foundation that the indigo and crystal children have made. In the end, anyone who wants to exist in alignment with the earth is a star child. We all share traits of each type of child, but how we act out our intentions are what define us. Essentially, the indigo children are here to break down the paradigm of the traditional thinking. The crystal children then build their foundation on the broken paradigm. And then the rainbow children continue to build onto what the indigo and crystal children began. Eventually transcending our paradigms to create an entirely new way of existing. First wave indigo traits. 1. Were born en masse, about 62%, between 1969 and 1987, with stragglers before and after -30% were born in the 50s. 2. Highly intelligent in their own way. Are literally wired differently than other people. 3. Know in their heart and core that they are here on a mission, but many don't remember what that is or how to go about it. 4. Have an inner awareness that what is being taught in churches and schools is not accurate, and know there are hidden agendas around the lies that are being accepted by the masses as truth. This is extremely frustrating but inspires them to uncover the cover-ups and expose the real truth. Have a strong sense of truth, ethics, justice and freedom. That is why authority figures many times irritate and frustrate them. When these are in jeopardy, will give their all for their cause, and many times feel they would rather die than give in to tyranny and deception. 5. Many have strong or unusual psychic and telekinetic abilities. 6. Have extraordinary levels of compassion. Have purple UV as their favorite color or see it in their dreams. 7. Have an affinity to knights, castles, and dragons. 8. Shut down psychic abilities because it scares people. 9. Feel like they could be one of the characters on the 1980s television series The Misfits of Science or one of the young people in Xavier's School for the Gifted in the recent movies from the comic books The X-Men. 10. Many times get along better with animals and nature than people. 11. Have a bond, connection to the trees, and nature in general. 12. Can relate well to children and or the elderly. 13. Feel very comfortable lounging, and would rather sit on the floor on a pillow than in a hard, uncomfortable chair. Would prefer sitting on the floor in school and business meetings if they could get away with it. 14. Are very attracted to soft natural fabrics and their cloths and fuzzy blankets are the ultimate. 15. Many times get very impatient when with someone who doesn't get to the point. 16. Creative, inventive, and very intuitive. 17. Involve themselves in human, animal rights efforts. 18. Have an innate sense of oneness and connectedness to all of creation. Get confused and disturbed when others don't share their reality of at-one-ment. 19. High capacity for love, and therefore others may feel uncomfortable by their intensity. 20. Very sensitive, sometimes hypersensitive and may not be able to distinguish between the emotional fields of those around them and their own personal emotions. 21. May go through periods of apathy and cynicism as coping mechanisms. 22. Intense longing for their own kind. Soulmates but don't know where to look. 23. Have what I endearingly term HDD or hug deficit disorder and need immense amounts of physical touching, hugs, and love to cuddle. 24. Because of being misunderstood and then betrayed, may develop strong trust issues, and therefore keep many of their thoughts, feelings and opinions to themselves.
25. About 30% have difficulties expressing themselves, especially in writing. 26. Very disciplined when properly motivated. 27. Get bored and or frustrated in school. 28. Male indigos, and many females, for the most part don't do authority very well because most of the time they are smarter than those in authority. 29. Many find themselves in alternative schools. 30. Female indigos seem to be able to cope better with the school systems than their male counterparts. 31. Many are labeled dyslexic and find themselves in special classes at school that usually never work for them. 32. Indigos have a strong desire to know why and if they don't see the point in something, or if it isn't explained properly, will feel it is simply not worth their time, energy and will either react with resistance or just simply blow off the people, things that seem not worth their time and energy. 33. Innately have their own ways of calculation and many have been accused of cheating in school because they do the answers in their head and cannot show their work. Indigos have an evolved awareness of how things work, therefore, many of the rigid rules and methods of learning math, English, and physics, not metaphysics or quantum physics, make no sense to them. 34. All first-wave indigos have what might be termed as a gift of healing. Whether it is making people feel better with their humor and wit, hands-on healing, animal and plant healing, healing with music and tone, or healing with new unproven methods, some of which are natural and need no external training for. 35. Many indigos have telepathic healing abilities and long distances make no difference to the efficiency of their work. 36. Because of their expanded perception, unusual creativity, wanting to try new things, and running way ahead of what is being taught in class, many were diagnosed as having attention deficit disorder, and put on Ritalin as children. 37. Most indigos, especially males, have a high innate aptitude for computers, electronics and/or auto mechanics. It is common for them to just know how to operate and troubleshoot with very little help from a book or an instructor. 38. First wave indigos are extremely creative, and express this innate skill in many, and oftentimes outrageous forms. These skills manifest in drawing, painting, sculpting, decorating, photography, writing, and sometimes very extreme and unique ways, making blueprints and prototypes, composing and playing music, even if they have never had lessons. Inventing games, and creating new and more efficient ways of doing things. 39. Very few indigos are interested in aggressive sports such as football and hockey. They would rather spend their physical exercise time and energy in personal achievement and outdoor sports such as track and field, skateboarding, mountain climbing, cycling, kayaking, etc. They are also attracted to discipline and self-defense sports such as fencing and martial arts. 40. Because of their feeling so foreign to this planet, a very high percentage of indigos have been put on antidepressants to make them appear normal and fit in our society. This is just a temporary fix though, and only adds to their challenges. 41. Many indigos are drawn to theatrics, drama, and stand-up comedy. In these venues they can pretend to be someone else when actually they were using this as an outlet to vent and express their own views and pent-up emotions. It is also a place for misfits to find a place of refuge and fit in.
42. Because of their feeling so alien here, many go through periods of severe grief, loneliness, and displacement and may turn to drugs, alcohol, or attempt suicide for a way out. 43. One trademark that a high percent of first-wave indigos have is living through extreme hardships as children, teenagers, and young adults. Many were born into family situations that were physically, emotionally, spiritually and psychically abusive. These indigos had to figure out how to balance and keep their inherent integrity levels, while being subjected to painful and life-shattering experiences. A large percent were implanted in such horrendous situations as organized crime, physical abuse, and even ritual, cult abuse and mind control. As more people awaken to higher levels of consciousness, they are waking up to find that they have attributes, senses, or gifts that are different than the majority of the population. They may also find that the children or young adults who are genetically related to them, or who gravitate toward them, are also intensely unique. It is no doubt that we are experiencing a wave like never before of crystal children being born, most likely to help humans and this planet move forward in the coming years. Crystal children, and crystal adults, really are the next step in human evolution in frequency, mindset, and heart. Unlike their predecessors whose vibrations and gifts are usually activated as they mature, crystals are born already programmed with the information, DNA, energies, and frequencies associated with awakening higher consciousness, enlightenment, and unconditional love. If you suspect that you or someone in your life is a crystal, here are many of the qualities of crystals and ways to determine for sure. 1. Crystals have big, beautiful, captivating eyes that seem to see right into your soul. 2. Crystals are extremely sensitive to everything around them, food, chemicals, toxins, weather, and even other people's negative emotions, illnesses, or injuries. 3. Crystals are extremely empathic and intuitive, and have a deep knowing about what people are really thinking and feeling. Therefore, being in crowded places, cities, hospitals, etc. can be very uncomfortable for them. 4. Crystals often see, talk to, and interact with imaginary friends, who are actually real energetic entities or angels that most humans can't see. 5. Crystals attract babies and animals who sense their high frequencies, and can also see the guardian angels or entities that are around the crystal. 6. Crystals have a deep love for and need to connect with nature and water, which are grounding and healthy for them. 7. Crystals are gentle and wise beyond their years, and usually do not require traditional, disciplined style parenting. 8. Crystals are very hurt by human tendencies to harm the environment and to disregard the other living creatures on this planet. They are often overwhelmed by man's greed and man's inhumanity to man and to the earth. 9. Crystals are very creative, artistic, smart and expressive in unconventional ways. They tend to begin talking later than other children because they feel words are unnecessary for communication, not because they are less intelligent or less capable.
10. Crystals are like a magnet for other people, but they are quite humble and prefer solitude, deep quiet, and time for reflection and rebalancing. 11. Crystals experience a lot of miracles around them, including synchronicities, rapid healing, and successes. 12. Crystal frequencies often disrupt gadgets, reception, and technological equipment. 13. Crystals are about unconditional love, oneness, living from the heart, and service to others. They do not understand ways that aren't peaceful, genuine, tolerant, and loving. Ego appears noticeably absent in what they think and do. 14. Because of all that they sense and internalize, crystals tend to have bouts of depression and/or extreme highs and lows in mood, as well as difficulty focusing on topics or tasks that don't stimulate them fully. 15. Crystals are often more prone to eating disorders or poor self-image because the human form is so limiting and fails to express the power and magnitude of their soul, heart, and energies. 16. Crystals often feel responsible for someone else's fighting or death. They may withdraw so as not to appear too out of control from the grief and guilt. 17. Crystals have an innate and uncanny understanding of spirituality, the universe, and cosmos. If a large number of the qualities listed above are familiar to you, then you or someone you love was likely born a crystal. Here are some tips to help navigate the often intense crystal experience. 1. Validate what the crystal feels and sees. Whether they are seeing entities, reacting to food or toxins, or having vivid dreams or premonitions. Crystals need to be reminded that their experiences, abilities, and frequencies are indeed a special gift. Not all people have them or are even open to them, but what they experience is real. 2. Encourage crystals to express what they see and feel through art, stories, music, role-playing, etc. Allow crystals to express their truths and please speak your truths to crystals, as they will see through any lies or facade that others may try to present. 3. Pay attention to how and when the crystal feels, reacts, in order to determine sensitivities, allergies, and patterns. You'll see rhythms, correlations, and bigger pictures to help understand, prevent, and protect from uncomfortable scenarios. 4. Learn to distinguish what's yours from what's someone else's or something else's. Crystals naturally tune into or feel illnesses and/or emotions of people and even animals around them. They need to learn to gauge what's truly their own and what they are simply reflecting or taking from others. 5. Strongly encourage any crystal to spend time in water and in nature to help rebalance, heal, and shield from negative energy, illnesses, and depression. Baths, uncrowded pools, or clean lakes, oceans can be the key to well-being. Dense city living may be extremely debilitating for crystals who become overloaded with sensory information. So, visits to parks, trips to the country, and submerging hands and/or the body in water are crucial for crystals who are city dwellers. 6. Learn to trust the crystal's intuition regarding everything from food to friends to activities to healing modalities. Intuition is their best teacher and guide, especially since people of high frequency don't usually respond to food, medicine, situations, and modalities the way other people do.
For instance, if a teacher or a practitioner is of a lower frequency, the interaction will actually detract or take energy from the crystal instead of having a healing or helpful effect. 7. Exercise the telepathic communication muscle. Try communicating with crystals through thought and intention and see what happens. Crystals will learn to consult their mental inventory of frequencies and will quickly adapt to communicating non-verbally, as they did when they were younger. 8. Ensure that crystals use their energy through sports, activities, martial arts, dancing, etc. If they do not expend the incredible amounts of energy that they receive and perceive, the energy will be internalized and manifest as depression, illness, ADHD, skin issues, and/or other uncomfortable symptoms. So, encourage crystals to play, exercise, and engage in whatever activities make them feel in their zone. Clearly, as our world moves forward in the coming years, crystals are our hope and help. Those of us who have encountered them know that crystals epitomize the vibration, mindset, heartbeat, and lifeline of tomorrow. If allowed, they will create a better environment for everyone, in which we may all evolve and become more like them, peaceful, intuitive, and magical. Crystals truly are a gift from the universe, and it is vital that we help make way for their approaches, perspectives, and senses. I am a first-wave Blu-ray indigo. I can say that now, as can many others my age, but when we were young not only did most of us not know what this meant, we had not ever heard of such things before. Even today many people are not familiar with, nor have ever heard of this spiritual generation. In this short article, which is an edited and slightly expanded version of one I originally shared in January of 2014, you will find information describing some of the attributes and traits of a first-wave Blu-ray indigo. For those of you who are first-wave Blu-ray indigos, I hope this information may help finally answer some questions for you, and let you know something of your spiritual generation's work and what we have done and continue to do for the expansion of consciousness of humanity in the spiritual awakening process. For those of subsequent spiritual generations, maybe this information may help you better understand your parents or you grandparents. First-wave Blu-ray indigos started incarnating in fairly large numbers around 1945 to 1949 through about 1969 to 1970. This makes them approximately between the ages of 45 to 70. First-wave Blu-ray indigos began coming in en masse around 1955 or so. And the hippie love and peace generation was the very first sign of this new frequency moving into physical mainstream reality. And it went a very long way in breaking up the dense vibrational frequencies held by Earth and humanity at that time. Something that was necessary for raising the consciousness of the collective. In a nutshell, first-wave Blu-ray indigos came here to start raising the frequency of Earth and the collective consciousness of humanity so that when the time for the indigo frequency generation to come in arrived, the vibration and frequency of the planet would be high enough for them to get here and exist physically. The frequency first-wave Blu-ray indigos came into was so dense indigos and subsequent frequency ray generations could not even get here. Many first-wave Blu-ray indigos had self-worth, self-esteem and low self-confidence problems. This was due to existing on a planet that felt very foreign and was not highly spiritually evolved. There was a strong sense of isolation for the spiritual generation, because finding each other back then was difficult. First-wave Blu-ray indigos instinctively knew they were different, and that things were not right on this planet. But they had to conform, at least in pretense, because the accepted reality at that time would not permit anything less. First-wave Blu-ray indigos had a tendency to stay to themselves a lot, and needed lots of time alone so they could be in a place that allowed them to connect to the feelings of home within their minds. They were not likely to rock the boat or make waves unless pushed to extremes, and this had to be an extreme. First-wave Blu-ray indigos intuitively knew they were here to do something big, yet had no idea what that something was. This inner knowing created a strong desire in them to constantly push in search of what it was they felt so strongly within themselves. This was actually the driving force that led to raising the vibrational frequency of Earth during that time. First-wave Blu-ray indigos are highly empathic and cannot, even to this day, understand the acts of cruelty toward each other, animals, the earth, or the corruption in political, religious, and economic systems humans are capable of. They came in on a frequency ray, and from a place of love and peace, as do we all, and want nothing more than to connect to others and exist in a place that feels peaceful, loving and kind. They are the true idealist utopians, and even though they can rationally understand why utopia does not currently exist upon Earth, they cannot truly comprehend why it seems so difficult for humanity to instantly create utopia on Earth. To them, it is as easy as breathing. First-wave blue-ray indigos are healers, teachers and energy workers by nature. The blue ray is the ray of wisdom and healing. And first-wave blue-ray indigos came here to assist with expanding the heart chakra of the collective. This is why so many of them wear their heart on their sleeve, as the saying goes. First-wave blue-ray indigos finally began coming out of the spiritual closet en masse in 2008, the year of the Great Coming Together. By that time many had finally healed sufficiently to begin feeling it was safe enough to expose theirself to the world. First-wave blue-ray indigos often have issues with tendencies of escapism because of the intense feelings of being so different and alone in this world. They often suffer with addictive tendencies and personalities. This is one of the largest contributing factors to the fact that the use of sacred drugs during the 60s and 70s turned into such a large issue of drug abuse. Many first-wave blue-ray indigos suffer from conditions such as chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. This is manifest from them constantly subconsciously transmuting energy for the planet and other people. The need for them to learn to do this work intentionally and consciously is imperative if they are to avoid creating physical ailments within their own bodies. First-wave blue-ray indigos will often stay in dysfunctional relationships and situations because they feel like they are responsible for healing the other person or persons involved. They have a very hard time telling other people no. Indigos, those who came into the earth plane on the indigo ray, have many of the same qualities as blue-ray indigos except they cannot and will not conform. At least not for very long, to standards set by society that go against what they know to be their truth.
They are the spiritual generation known as the system busters. They came here to change the world and they know it. While in most cases, the alien traits of these hybrid children are dormant and it is the human traits which are more active. Yet there are certain characteristics that confirm that the person whom you are referring to is an alien hybrid or not. Usually alien human hybrids do not have much hair on their head. Sparse, thin and black hair is what most of the alien human hybrids have got. The rest part of their bodies is devoid of any hair usually. To cover this up, many alien human hybrids tend to wear wigs which hide the natural hair scarcity and give them a normal appearance. The eyes of alien human hybrids are usually very compelling. The deep vision that they carry in their eyes lets them see through the inner soul of an individual. There is an extraterrestrial calmness in their ways and the way they stare at things. Usually the eyeball of these hybrids are a little larger than normal humans. There are cases where the cranium of alien human hybrids is slightly bigger than normal humans. This is being seen since ancient times actually. While there are many ancient tribes that try to elongate the cranium by tying ropes, there are many people who are born with a large-sized cranium. The body temperature of alien human hybrids is usually a little lower than normal human body temperature. As aliens are believed to be cold-blooded, their genes tend to pull the body temperature down. Many of the alien human hybrids are usually snub-nosed individuals. The alien genetic implications are to be blamed for this as aliens are mostly been described as being with snub noses. If you have doubts that you are an alien human hybrid, you may want to keep a tab on your dreams. It is said that alien human hybrids have more number of flying dreams than anyone else. While dreams of flying usually signifies that the individual is happy and in a good mood, but when the frequency of such dreams increase, you got to believe that some genes that you are carrying in your body has been delivered from outer space. The average intellect of alien human hybrids is more than any earthling. Now this is something that is the most obvious thing. If you would have some share of your genes coming from the super-intelligent extraterrestrial sources, it is most unlikely that your intellect would be on the lower side. An alien human hybrid would not need to communicate with you to understand what is going on in your mind. With their patrimonial telepathic skill they are usually able to read the thoughts of individuals without saying a word to them. Most alien-human hybrids will have a hypersensitivity to electromagnetic or electric fields. The moment they are in the proximity of such fields, they would start feeling uncomfortable and their thought processes would tend to get disrupted.
So I hope you like this video. Please share our videos on Facebook with your friends. Don't forget to do like, subscribe and comments on our video. Thanks for watching.